Hello. Well, this is a very rare opportunity for you. It's extremely rare that I ever get rid of anything I have. Well, regarding EXPs and escorts. But if you're familiar with what I do here, this red one is a parts car, and that gold one is a parts car. And real soon, I'll be cutting them up to save some EXPs, because these guys are not worth saving in any way, shape, or form. But once I cut them up, all the parts have to go somewhere, and I think they'd be best suited for those who need them. So I will be selling off a lot of the parts, but very, very, very affordably. I do not need to make a fortune off of these by any means. But if I could cover some of the costs that it took to get them, that would make me quite happy. But like I said, I have no interest in making thousands off of these things, but 15 bucks here and there, that goes a long way for me. But anyhow, this is my 1986 Escort L sedan. And technically, it's an 85 and a half. And I do have a number of parts available, or will be available from this car. I'll have all 4 doors for sale. That'd be these nice red doors. They all have the glass. All of the most of the insulation on them is intact. Typical stuff. Some of these pieces for the door seals go away, but I do have videos on how to fix them. Same with these window scrapers. But all 4 of these doors have all their trim, have their door handles, and all their glass. The only thing they don't have are the interior door cards. Set down my board here and pop this open. You can see I don't have any cards, but they all have their handles and their window cranks. So aside from that, they're all good to go. But that's fine, because I'm sure someone who wants a set of these matching red doors will want their own door cards. Whatever car yours is, you'll probably want those cards. But they're all pretty nice. This is the only rust pretty much out of all of them. Just a tiny bit on the bottoms. But the paint on these guys are really good. Right now they just have a layer of dirt and pollen on them, because it hasn't rained in Wisconsin in quite some time now. And then the other side, it's the same story. They all have their locks, but they're not locked. I don't know if I have the correct keys for them, sadly, so I don't think you'll be getting any keys from me. But yeah, these doors ain't too bad. This is probably the worst one. And even still, it's not all that bad. Sadly, it's got a bunch of scratches on it, and this one has a minor dent here, but the other 3 are quite nice. But what's cool is they all match. All their chrome trim is just about perfect. All the windows are perfect. All the cranks work, all the handles work inside and out fine. So that's the doors. Up next, since we're up front, I also have 2 very nice quarter panels. These guys are rust-free, the quarter panels. The only flaws with them is like this one's got some scratches up top. But this one's undented. The paint's really nice. And then this one over here, it has a few scratches on the side. But otherwise undented, and yeah, again, paint is pretty nice. So I got those. And then I got the hood. The hood is faded, and you can see it's trying to rust, but it's just not there yet. But it is straight as an arrow. It doesn't have any dents in it. The scratches are irrelevant in its condition, but I also have that lower valance up for grabs. Now, everything under the hood is not available, so please do not ask about it. I need everything that's underneath the hood. I need everything mechanical on these cars. But as far as the bodywork and interior stuff goes, I can't use most of it because all my cars that I'm keeping are EXPs. I also have a rear hatch available. It's pretty nice. Sadly, it's missing its chrome trim, but the glass is good. There's no dents on this. There's not really much for scratches, but there are places where the paint has been peeling. See, the clear coat has been peeling in a few spots, but it's still got its reverse light, and it looks dirty because it is, but it's not cracked or broken or anything. Sadly, it's missing its Escort badge. That's about it. You open it up inside, it's not rotted or anything. I also have these corner windows because I might be cutting the roof off, so you might have access to that roof. It's rusty just from being baked in the sun, so it's all just surface roughs. But it's not dented, surprisingly, or anything. But these corner windows, you can see the trim gasket around them is in great shape. The chrome, the bottom's pretty good, and the glasses themselves are quite intact. If you could remove them yourself, that'd be great. But I don't have much issue removing them, but I'd have to cut the roof to do it. Any attempt to remove these would probably result in them breaking if I do it any other way. On the other side, just as good. Now, as far as the interior goes, I don't have much to offer for the interior. Inside, you'll see a bunch of stuff. Please don't ask about them. You will not be getting any of the seats you see inside this car. However, I do have available that red carpet if you really want it, and the red dashboard. I also have the instrument cluster available. That is the one that has the fuel gauge on the left and the speedo on the right. That's all that's there. I also have all the B-pillar plastics available. I also have the red seat belts available. The whole headliner, which is really nice, that is available. Yeah, that's kind of it as far as the interior goes. For now, I do need the steering wheel and steering column, but everything else is up for grabs. This is not an AC car, I should mention that. AC cars sometimes have different vents. And then all that's left on this car are the bumpers. So all these plastic corner guys, this car does have two very nice ones. Rear left and front right. And then the rear chrome steel bumper is absolutely perfect, aside from someone putting a sticker on there. So that rear bumper is just fantastic. Both of the absorbers for it are in great shape. Like I said, yeah, that rear right bumper corner is toast, and this front left one is a little rough. It's usable, but there is a chunk missing. But this front right one and the rear left are both winners. They're in great shape. But that kind of covers everything on my 86 here. So we'll move on to my 88 wagon, but first I want to mention, please do not ask about buying the whole car, because the reason why I'm cutting up these cars is I need the floor pans and I need the rockers. Once I cut those two out, these cars will no longer roll. I also need all the mechanical parts in all four corners and under the hood. So you can't have anything under the hood, and you can't have any of the suspension parts. Like I said, once I take those, the car doesn't roll. So it doesn't go anywhere but to the scrapper. If you want a roof for the rear quarters, that's fine. Just email me and I'll come them out, set them aside for you. But that's about all I can say from the main shelves for anybody. This is my 88 Escort Gl Wagon. There's a lot of good to it, depending where you look. Just like the red one, I'm using this one for floors and rockers. But it's got a good roof. See, it's kiddie approved. It's not dented or anything. Not really any scratches either. It's just dirty as can all be. Well, I guess a little bit of fading, but no rust or anything on it yet. So it's in great shape. Hood is available but heavily dented up front. I think someone was pushing this around with a tire on the front, and maybe that's what caved that in. Front quarters are also available. These guys would just be for free. They're pretty mangled if you really want them. Hood would be free if you really want it. And then the other quarter panel is free if you really want it. Also, got the turns signal and headlight bracketry, and I believe both sides are fully intact. Lower valance is decent. It's mangled up here on the right, but it is rust free. And for the doors are in pretty good shape. Yeah, they're scratched all over, and that front driver one does have some punctures and some rust holes. So if someone wanted these doors, they could have all 4 of them pretty cheap. But they all have their glass, they all have their trim. The seals on this one are very intact. They're about the best ones I've ever seen. The mirrors are not available, so please do not ask about them. I need those because they're the electric. But all the door handles, locks, and cranks work just fine. The door speakers also work well. And they do have all their cards. And all the cards are fantastic. They're a little dirty, but they're very, very nice. They just need a cleaning. But all 4 of them are just like that. They're all that kind of cream or tan vinyl leather. And then inside the car, the entire dashboard is available. It is absolutely flawless aside from the single crack here. It doesn't have any fading or anything to it. Sadly, I'm missing the center console. The automatic belts are available. They both work. Sadly, someone snipped the actual fabric belts off of these, but the tracks work perfect. Both of them actually. So I'm sure someone will be jonesing to have those. They'll only work on the 4 doors in wagons. They won't work on the 2 doors. Towards the back of the car, same thing. So you can see these other door panels. Like I said, everything works in great shape. It's just fantastic. Seats not available. The floors, the entire car, not really available, but many parts of the car are available. The rear bumper is available. It's pretty decent. Now it's missing a small chunk here, but if you wanted it just for these rubbers, the rubbers are all in pretty good shape aside from being a little pinched there. Yeah, on the inside you can see it's kind of routed through. But yeah, the bumpers are kind of where it's at. But if you were really needed a chrome one of these, this one would work. It's just cosmetic only. This would not save your car from an accident. But you know, from 4 inches away, it looks freaking fantastic. Now, the rear hatch is also available, and it is quite nice. Sadly, this guy had broke some time ago. I believe all the pieces are in it. They were both whole and intact, but the process of it just sitting here, and I've only moved it around the property twice. And just in the time of doing that, it has made these guys shatter. They used to be 2 absolutely perfect ones, and this whole bezel thing was quite nice, but it is all here. The glass is absolutely perfect, just sturdy, and the chrome or stainless trim is pretty good. Aside from being dented here, but that's probably the biggest issue with this deck is a big old dent here, like someone threw a bowling ball at it. Center turn light is in great shape, just dirty. And then the hatch has its interior panel. Pretty much all that's left on the inside that's available is the headliner. And the headliner is absolutely mint. There's just a couple dirty marks from where I bonked my head putting stuff in and out of it, but I do have this C-pillar panel. But yeah, that's about it. I also have a set of 4 door glass and rear corner glasses for 84 Lynx L, the 2-door. So I have the 2 door glasses and then the 2 rear corner glasses with factory tint, so they look kind of greenish. They're all great. And then I also have the 2 rear plastic panels for that car. And that's about all I have for 2-door stuff. Yeah, I'll have a list in the description of what all I have available, and I will update it as it goes. But once all those parts leave, this video will be taken down. And please do not ask about any engine or mechanical parts. I'm not letting any of those go. I need them for other cars. Same with the floors and wheel wells, strut towers, things like that. I need them for other cars. Do not ask about buying these cars whole, as is, or anything like that. All I have available are the pieces. Like I said, you know, most of the stuff's just going to go $5 to $25 each. Doesn't matter much to me, but I need them to go. Once these are ripped apart, I don't have a place to store any of them. But anywho, yeah, keep an eye on the description as time goes on. I am located in western Wisconsin. Most of these parts I will not ship just because they're so huge. But things like the headlight bracketry, I have no problem shipping them. But yeah, that's about it. I'm not going to disassemble the doors for anybody. You can get door handles new online. Do it yourself. They're riveted in, so they're kind of difficult to work with. But everything else will kind of have to be pickup only. Oh yes, here's those rear panels I was talking about from an 84 Lynx. They're faded, but they're whole. I have the seats too, but I'm keeping those for now. But yeah, that covers pretty much anything. If there's something you like, please do not comment, but email me. If you email me, I'm more liable to see it. With YouTube, when people comment, you only get notified on about 1/2 to 2/3 of them, and that's only if you have a low, a low action list on your YouTube thing. If I was more famous, I probably wouldn't get notified of any. But yeah, just a few things to keep in mind. Oh, and I also have 5 bumpers. I have 3 perfect rear chrome bumpers for Escorts, and I have 2 aluminum front bumpers. One is pretty mangled, but the other one is very nice. I also have those available. But yeah, that's pretty much everything for these, so we'll catch you guys later.